So I think that the uneven distribution of water as a resource means that there's a lot like in like smaller communities, and like there's just a lot in like smaller communities and like maybe entire continents. Sometimes like this group of people could have a whole lot of water, but another group in the same place can have like 2% of the water that the other people have.
Yeah.
And sometimes when they do have a water resource, it's not exactly the cleanest. So these other people will have like running faucets every day and every night. And then these people will have to get it like maybe like because some people in Africa they have to walk really long distances to the nearest water source, and sometimes that water from their only water source isn't that clean. So like sometimes people will have really clean water, and sometimes people won't have that like clean water to drink and use every day.
Rasheen, incredibly articulate and thoughtful. It was really terrific. In Senegal, in the city of Dakar, they only had so much water. Who got the water first? The white people. I mean, the foreigners. Who were the last to get the water? The locals. So they only had a limited amount of water. We got all the water we wanted, but...
So did you give them some?
Well, it wasn't about giving some. It comes out of a pipe, it comes out of a faucet, but there's only so much. And who gets it first? The wealthiest. Not surprising. There?
It's not only unfair that, like, kind of like what you said, people are, like, they don't have a lot of water to share, but people don't have a lot of clean water to share.
Yeah, right.
And so, like, some people could have a lot of water, but it's dirty. And other people could have very little water, but it's clean.
Yeah, interesting.
And so it's kind of like, which would you rather have? A little bit of clean water or a big amount of dirty water?
So in Senegal, it rained a lot, and they had no sewage treatment. So whatever came down the street went right into the ocean. They had no sewage treatment, so every toilet that flushes, there's no sewage treatment. So they have a lot of rain, a lot of water, but how much of that is clean after it hits the ground? Shivas?
Well, maybe it should even be the uneven distribution of good water, because like I've heard some places in South America they have a lot of water, like what Shane and Lyric said, but not all of it. There's very little clean water, and so they are not able to drink as much, which you need water to survive. And except in places like Saudi Arabia, they don't have a lot of water, but I think the water they do have is clean. So.
And they have the money to clean it.
Yeah, because they have they sell oil, which they can build desal plants.
Cool.
I think that the uneven distribution is like animals in the ocean. They have lots of water because that's their habitat. Like we have a lot of habitats. We have a bunch of buildings and houses and apartments and hotels. So yeah, and then if we go to a river, that's also their habitat, but it always depends on the rain. So I would say the uneven distribution of water, it connects to wild sea life and wild river life, because river life all depends on the weather, if it rains or if it doesn't, or if it's really sunny and hot. But the ocean, it's like you're gonna live no matter what. There's nothing that can kill you unless you like have someone go fishing or you overfish something. Or
It's not connected to the weather, is it? The way a river would be.
Yeah. The way the ocean works, there's nothing to do with weather. So that's another way it's an uneven distribution, because like when we watched the video of the steelhead trout, the little baby fish and all upstream, like in drought, where that little part of the river is all dry, they can't get up. So that's another way of saying it's uneven.
The thing about the steelhead that's interesting is they can adapt to freshwater or saltwater. So they have an interesting flexibility because they have to go between the two of them.
I'm just saying about the freshwater part, like
Yeah.
when they're babies.
Right.
Uneven distribution, like everybody said before, can be globally, seawater, freshwater, just locally. But I think the most comparison would be locally, cause here in rain, Brazil gets a ton of rain, but places like
Monterey.
Monterey and Russia don't get as much rain, I would think.
Russia's a very big country, but
Yeah, but
compared to Monterey or any other places, that
Yeah.
if you're in Brazil, they get a tremendous amount of rain.
yeah, but
If you're in Seattle, you get a tremendous amount of rain, but ours is very seasonal.
yeah, but even though Brazil gets so much rain, we use more water than Brazil. So that's uneven in two ways.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Oh, Isabel.
I agree with Keisha and Audrey and Raksheen about what Keisha said about that America uses like so much water, and like no one really, don't people realize how much water they're using each day, and I think it was a good idea for us to do the chart, and it helps to see how much water we would use. And it helped, my mom was really surprised about how much water we used, and then we down-cutted it, like 10 gallons.
From the first week to the second week? Yeah.
10 gallons each day.
Was that true for all of you? That during the 2-week survey, the second week, everybody was more aware of it?
I lowered it by 40. I upped it by 300.
I lowered it by like 400.
I think that the uneven distribution of water is globally, like the people in Africa use less water than the richer countries like England or America. And it's also what Audrey said, the sea life. But one way you could die in the ocean was pollution. And you could do the same thing in the river, and it depends on the river. The weather depends on the river also. And also, like the land animals, they need the water to drink, and so they get affected by it also.